What's up, guys? Today I'm just going to be building this VAF F4U Corsair from Tamiya. This is one of the first Pocket Universe planes I'm going to be building. I'm going to be painting it with Bunny Army colors. Not much else to say. Kit's pretty good. Basic Tamiya quality. Not too much to say about that. On step 1, I built up the inside of the cockpit. It's pretty well detailed, but you're not going to be able to see too much of it on the final build. Pretty nice. On step 2, I built I don't really know what to call it, the nose of the plane, I guess, with the engine inside. And step 3, I built the underside of the fuselage with like the start of the wings. Before I moved on with the construction, I just brought out my airbrush and painted the insides of the cockpit on, and back here, the rear landing gear bay. I also painted in the cockpit. Not too much detail, there wasn't too much to do. Here is after, I think, step 4. After this, I had to paint up the pilot. I did a pretty crude paint job because you won't be able to see him too well through the windshield. So for the skin, I just did like one coat of some flat flesh and an orange jacket, brown pants, and hat or helmet or whatever you would call it. And I think I gave him some green boots as well. After step 5, the plane was looking like this. I had the pilot in there. You can see the wings in the back. It didn't come with any like landing gear up position, so I had to scratch make that. It's not too pretty, but I'm gonna make a diorama for this, and the bottom won't really be visible. So you can see, it doesn't look too great. After that, I got out the airbrush and masked off the glass, and it was time to get to the paint job. First, I just sprayed the whole thing with some flat green from Tamiya. Got pretty much everything. All the fuselage, not the propeller though. Underside's the same color. Mostly all just the same thing. Not too much to say. When I was happy with that, I masked off some parts and started to spray some parts of the wings with orange. I didn't get masking putty, so instead I just cut up some masking tape and put it in like these wavy patterns like you would see on the wings of a Spitfire, for example, because I thought that would be a cool idea, and I think it turned out pretty well. After this, I sprayed some parts of the bottom of the fuselage with this lighter green that I used for the cockpit. I kind of regret doing this, but it's not too bad and it won't be visible on the final diorama, which I'll make at some point. It's not really like the next thing I want to do, but I'll do it at some point. I guess I forgot to film it, but I also did a pattern on the nose and the fuselage of the plane with orange, you can see there. And here I'm just doing some touch-ups with some overspray on the wings from doing that. I don't know how I forgot to film that, but I guess I did. But you can see it looks pretty nice, wasn't too hard, just cut up some masking tape and just sprayed it on there. After this, I got to work painting the metal parts of the cockpit things with some flat green to match the fuselage. You can see just the metal parts on the outside. I set the cockpit into place and got to work painting the propeller. I just did the propeller blades, the whole thing just black. Then I went back and painted the tips with some aluminum. I also did that, like the part in the center of the propeller blades with aluminum. I don't know what it's called. After this, I put on the decals all over, just a bunch of decals. Some numbers, some lines on the wings. After this, I made some custom stencils out of masking tape, and I just slapped those on there and used the airbrush to hopefully try and get some clean lines. I think it turned out pretty well. I could definitely use some more practice doing this, but I think it's a good thing. It's easier than just painting straight lines, so I'll definitely be doing it more in the future. After this, it was time for weathering. So I sprayed it with some matte varnish, and I got this homemade wash. I was out of wash, so I had to make my own. And I just put it all over the panel lines, all over the wings. Then I just took this paper towel and just brushed off the excess, which looks pretty nice. I did that to the whole plane. Then I took this Tamiya Weathering Master and took some different colors and put it on the nose. I think it turned out pretty well. See, I'm just taking that sponge, wiping it all down there. Looks pretty good. I do recommend the Weathering Master. It works pretty well. I have to say I'm pretty happy with this model. Turned out pretty good. Like I said before, I'm going to have it in a diorama, probably facing off against a Jacksonian airplane up in the skies. I think I did pretty good. The stencils could definitely use some work. I had to do a lot of touch-ups on that with like dripping paint, but that's user error, that's my fault. I'll definitely have to work on that more. I think it's pretty good. You can just see the finished product here. Pretty nice. Not my best work, but it'll do.